What is up,
Hello,
everybody?
hello.
Welcome to your Hope 30 Live. This is now Thursday night. And guess what tomorrow night is? Tomorrow night, Friday night at midnight. When the clock strikes midnight,
Yes.
that is the unofficial cutoff for signups for this next round of Hope 30, which starts this Sunday.
Y'all.
So if you are on the fence and you've been watching our lives and you're like, wait a minute, yes, you need to go ahead and go get signed up right now.
Join us. Come.
Yeah, it's at Hope30, spell out the word 30.com. You can go sign up right now. But if you want to watch the live and do it after the live, I would appreciate it. So when you're getting on, if you wouldn't mind putting down in the comments where you're coming in from and whether you're watching it live, because I got to know, are you getting the full energy of Dr. Jim and Nicole live? Are you watching on the replay? But either way, tonight's going to be an awesome one. We have tried, and listen, if you get done with tonight and you were like, wow, that was some really cool information, please go back afterwards and scroll down on this Hope 30 page and go ahead.
They're coming in. Hold on. Sorry. They're coming in.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Hello,
Kathy,
hello.
Anna. Yes. And Philip.
Hey, Philip.
Thanks for getting on live. I love it. So
okay, sorry. I interrupted.
If you've missed any of the lives up until now, please definitely go back and watch the other ones. We did some really cool show and tells, and tonight is not going to be any different because tonight we're going to talk about something that's really important. And I think this is a big misconception in weight loss. I think there's a lot of people focus sometimes on the wrong things. Oh, Nettie.
Welcome back, Nettie.
Nettie, welcome back. It's good to have you on. Thank you guys for everybody getting on.
Yes.
We appreciate it. So tonight we're going to talk about, Nicole sent out an email today to encourage everybody to get on tonight's live.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it was all about exercise. And, I can't tell you how many people tell me in my office, all my different patients, and they're like, well, Dr. Jim, I would really like to lose weight. But you know what? I have a bum ankle. I have a bum knee.
Yeah.
I have a bad back. I have, I had a knee replacement. I had this, and I can't exercise. Therefore, I can't lose weight. Here's the thing, everybody.
Right.
The other night we talked about there's two main fuel sources that your body's working on. It can either be sugar burning or fat burning. And our ideal goal in Hope 30 is we want to get your metabolism to shift from being a sugar burner to being a fat burner.
That's right. That's right.
Well, there's two other big things that we want to look at. When it comes to weight loss, there's really two big levers that people want to pull to make that process happen. There's exercise.
Yep.
And there's what goes in your mouth, or some people call it your diet. All right.
Right.
Now, here's the most important thing to understand. I want you to think of the biggest, I want you to think about, remember when you were a kid and you would go out on the playground and they don't have them anymore because so many kids got hurt on them. But when we were kids, there were still teeter-totters. On the playground. And you could bang it on the ground and you'd hurt people's backs. It was not good for you.
Not good.
But I want you to think about that big, long teeter-totter, like what kind of lever that is. All right. And then I want you to think of a popsicle stick.
Ooh, a little tiny.
All right. Well, if those are the two levers that you can pull in weight loss, I want you to know that exercise is the popsicle. It's a teeny weeny little lever.
Isn't that something?
But when it comes to weight loss and fat loss, your diet, what goes in your mouth, that is the teeter-totter lever. That's the one that's going to have the biggest impact. But what do most of us do at the beginning of every year? We make a New Year's resolution. This is my year. 2024, I know we've been in it for a while. Maybe you're thinking 2025, but 2024 is going to be my year.
But it could be back to school. Now it's going to be my year.
Yeah, back to school started again.
Getting on track.
I'm getting on track. Everybody's getting back to life. I'm going to join a gym.
Yep.
I'm going to join something theory, something cycle row, something bar, everything. And I'm going to join one of these places and I'm going to start exercise. I'm going to start, jogging. I'm going to start P90X. Maybe you got an old CD pack tucked away you haven't done in a million years. Yeah, you got old DVDs. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to do Peloton. Like I'm going to do all this.
I'm going to do buns of steel.
Buns of steel. That was old school. I like that. But you're like, I'm going to join a gym. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to finally do something so I can lose weight.
Right. Exactly. Everybody does that.
And everybody does it, and everybody joins a place to finally start exercising. Now, that's of course if you can exercise. If not, you don't exercise, and we say, well, the reason I can't lose weight is because I can't exercise.
Right.
But here's what I want you to know. When it comes to your fat loss, when it comes to your weight loss, joining that gym, doing the exercise, doing buns of steel, doing Peloton, that is the popsicle stick lever that you can turn. All right. That's the popsicle. Oh, Bandit's back. Bandit's joined us again for tonight.
He loves the live.
Yeah, he wants to be on all the live.
I want to be on live. All right, go ahead.
But it is the popsicle stick lever that you can pull. If you want to pull the giant teeter-totter lever for your fat loss and your weight loss, it has to be based on your food. All right? Mm-hmm. What goes in your mouth is the most important thing. They kind of estimate that your weight loss, your fat loss is 85+% built on what you eat.
Amazing.
And it's only 10 or 15% built on exercise. Now, does that mean that I'm anti-exercise? No, I cannot wait for Saturday because I'm going to go for an early morning trail run. And Sunday, I'm going to do the same thing. And I just did that on Tuesday. I love exercise. Exercise is great. Exercise is great for building muscle. Exercise is great for being fit. Exercise is really, really helpful for helping you keep weight off long term because it makes, it helps you be more metabolically active. It helps you burn more. It helps keep you in shape. It's really beneficial long term, especially for keeping it off.
Right.
But if you're looking for the biggest lever to pull, that giant teeter-totter to get you to lose weight as quickly and as efficiently as possible, the big lever you want to pull is diet and eating style.
Right.
Bar none.
Right.
And so I think Nicole even has well, do you want me to go?
You go with your story first, and then I'll follow it up with my girlfriend's story.
All right. So I'll just tell you, just to give you a real life example of what I'm talking about. When COVID first hit, all right, I went from seeing 70 people a day in my office to seeing 7. And it felt like it was the end times. And so many of us were just like, I didn't have anything to do. So I would come home and, we have a sort of a break in the middle of the day in my chiropractic office, like 2 hours plus, almost 3. And I decided I got to do something because I'm going crazy here. There's not enough patients. This isn't great. No one's coming in because they've shut the world down because of COVID. Mm-hmm. So I decided in that moment, I was going to run a 5K a day in May. Mm-hmm. It also sounded cool. Mm-hmm. So I thought I would do that. So I proceeded to come home over every lunch break, every Saturday and Sunday, and I would go out on the trail and I ran at least 3.25 miles every day. Some days it was 5 or 6, but every day at least a 5K. Now, you would think for somebody who had started running and running that often, that consistently, that would surely lead to significant weight loss. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask everybody real quick in the live, how much weight do you think I lost from starting running a 5K a day in May?
And he did it.
I mean, I did it for real. So if you have a guess,
make a guess
in the comments. I want to see how close some of you are. All right.
All right. We know at least 3 people have made comments already. So
Yes.
y'all take a guess. Be brave.
Yes.
If you're still with us.
All right. Philip said 10 pounds.
Okay, that's a good guess. That's
Good
a really
guess.
good guess.
That is a great guess,
Okay.
Philip. Thank you for
Thank
guessing.
you for answering.
Yes.
Yes.
So
all right, anybody else?
Yeah, well, I'll give it a couple minutes. But
okay.
But again, running that much, pushing yourself, doing that kind of exercise. Ooh. So
Anna.
Lynn, we got a few people.
Okay, Lynn said, okay, here, I'll do it like this so you could see. There you go.
So Lynn said 8 pounds. Anna said 3 pounds. Okay. And then Nettie said muscle weighs more than fat.
You were creating muscle. Okay, so we've got 10. We've got 8.
We got 3. And then we have
maybe a fair
an
trade
explanation.
there. Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys.
And Kim wrote 2 pounds.
Okay.
I like the guesses.
Oh, these are great.
These are great guesses.
Thank you guys. Thank you for playing our party game.
Yes. Well, I am sad to tell everybody I lost 0 pounds.
Y'all, nothing.
And I did not put on any muscle. Like it was literally, I did not lose anything. Now, there are some explanations for that. Because I was running a 5K a day in May, guess what you will often tend to do? It all depends on what you ate.
Very good.
Correct, Philip. That is 100% what this talk is all about, is that it's far more important about what goes in your mouth than your exercise. And very often I started running that much, but guess what it did? It did significantly kind of increase my hunger, which because running and a lot of that exercise is a very sugar burning activity, which tend to be like, oh, I can have a little extra food here. I should eat some carbs. I should do more of this.
You thought you were outrunning your diet.
Right. And so that brought us to the whole topic of tonight, which is you cannot outrun a bad diet.
I'm not.
And here's the thing. It's not even that my diet was bad.
Right.
I just ate more to fuel myself doing all that activity.
Right.
And so the problem is in the end of it all, is that is the smallest lever that you can pull when it comes to your weight loss. If I had just gone home over every lunch and meditated and decided to eat, yes, Nettie says my orthopedic surgeon said the same thing. Weight loss starts with what goes in your mouth.
100%.
I agree.
We agree.
I agree with your orthopedist.
Yes.
It's kind of like what they say about ab muscles, right? People say that abs are built in the kitchen, not in the gym, right? Because most of us actually probably do have abs.
They're in there.
You just can't see them.
I mean, we have muscle.
They're hidden under a fluffy exterior.
Yeah.
So my point is that you cannot outrun a bad diet. If you want to be successful in weight loss, if you want to start burning the fat down and reducing all that butter on your body, around your heart, around your lungs, the very first lever you should pull is your diet.
Right.
And changing your diet and work on shifting from being a sugar burner to being a fat burner. Now, once you become a really good fat burner and your body's doing really well and you've made like our first round of Hope 30 and you've lost 14.9 pounds of butter off your body.
Right.
And you're like, I sure would like to add some fitness into this. Then certainly we teach in Hope 30 a style of exercise that helps you maximize fat burning and muscle building while limiting the sugar burning and the muscle breakdown.
Right.
So it's a really great thing, but you cannot outrun a bad diet.
No, and there's other examples of that. Some of you are like, well, I don't think I'll be running a 5K a day in September or any month soon. Maybe running is not your love language, but there's a lot of other exercise that is. And people are like, I love my classes. Maybe they feel like this is what they need to do. I have a girlfriend who actually was also a patient of Jim's, and she was doing 2 or 3 classes a day. And she loved exercise, but I don't think she really loved it that much. She wasn't losing anything. she wasn't really gaining anything, but she wanted to be losing. Okay. So she was kind of staying stuck. All right. And so, but she thought she was like, well, okay, if I add another class, and she was a previous athlete, and so she had always been, in shape, and exercise was her love language. And that's how she thought. Maybe it was when she was younger. That's how she.
Well, I think a lot of athletes have that kind of in their head. Like, if you want to lose weight, I just need to do more.
Right.
I need to go harder. I need to go longer. And that's just typically not the most ideal way to necessarily burn body fat.
But when she came in and she was saying, okay, I do this and I do this and I do this, and what's going on? Why is it not working? And she was so frustrated, and she was, she wasn't even over menopause. Like, she was younger, and it was just very, very, very frustrating. And maybe you feel like that too. Like, there's all these classes and all these amazing opportunities for great physical activity, but yet it's not helping you move that scale at all. And what we found out about her is that she hadn't changed her diet at all, right?
Yes. And so again, what I actually did with her is I was like, would you be willing to stop exercising for 30 days?
Which was not a concept she had ever heard of before.
I said, would you be willing to stop exercising for 30 days and change your eating style? We did that, and she very quickly proceeded to start losing weight.
Yep.
And that was really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So
the results were almost instant.
Yeah. So what you find out is oftentimes we are exercising in a way that is not necessarily conducive to fat loss. Because I will tell you that, and listen, again, I want everyone to know, if you are like, but I love exercise, I am an exerciser, we can definitely still help you in Hope 30. I have worked with people who are training for marathons. I have worked with people that are competitive tennis players. I have worked with a whole bunch of people that are very, very athletic, and doing the exercise part of their life is very important to them. The key there is we just want to make sure that you can work on shifting from sugar burning into fat burning. And then we can do exercise after that in a way that kind of maybe keeps you more in fat burning and less in sugar burning, so that you can really burn your body fat.
Wouldn't that be amazing if you had the exact right food to eat that keeps you in fat burning, getting rid of those sticks of butter? And if you don't know what we're talking about, like, why do they keep talking about butter? Then make sure you watch last night's live, because we talked all about burning fat and butter, and it's awesome. So go back and watch it. And if you want to do that and have a type of exercise that keeps you in that fat burning, then Hope 30 is for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you have been struggling, like, I always get this visual of somebody, because let's face it, why do most of us join the gym? Why do most of us go to an exercise class? I know we would like to be fit. We'd like to be strong. We'd like to be able to get out of a beach chair when we get older.
Find those abs in there.
But let's be honest, that most of us join a gym or do any of those mainly because we would like to change our body. We'd like to lose weight.
Yes.
We'd like to look better in our clothes, and we feel like that is the avenue to get there.
Right.
And what I'm telling all of you is that it is not the best avenue. If you did it long enough, and you might get there, but for most of you, what you really need to do is focus on your eating style. And I can't tell you how many people do Hope 30 who are like, well, I've exercised my whole life. I'm super fit. I'm a runner. I'm whatever. But as I started getting older, I started gaining weight. And now, like, I'm still running, but like, I'm gaining weight, and like, nothing's like the things I used to do that used to work when I was 20 don't work when I'm 40 or 50 or 60. Or, hey, well, the reason I gained all my weight is I used to be a runner, and I ran this amount, and then I blew my meniscus out and I had to have surgery, and I've not been able to, I haven't run in a year and a half. And I've been gaining weight because I'm eating like I used to when I ran. Again, the goal here in Hope 30 is we're going to change the eating style. All right. We're going to help fix your thing. And then, yes, I have Nettie just wrote, I have worn out my joints from working out and the extra weight.
Right.
Yeah. So Nettie, what's great is that Hope 30 really is built for you.
Yes.
Because there is zero exercise requirement. The 14.9 pounds average that people lose in 30 days is for the most part without any additional exercise.
Right.
You don't actually supercharge your weight loss with more exercise. For some people, it actually slows them down a little bit. So if you are like, oh, I have too much pain and I'm just starting to try to learn to walk again, then ideally you would do better with Hope 30 because of that. Does this help kickstart metabolism? Well, yes. Partially because most people's metabolisms are I would consider most people's metabolisms are broken.
Yes.
In that I do a tremendous amount of advanced metabolic testing in my office. It's called metabolomics. It's a type of testing where we can see how well you can convert fats into energy, how well you can convert carbohydrates into energy, and how well you can convert protein into energy. And what I see very consistently is that most people are having problems converting fat into energy. I mean, all three. Some people are having problems converting all of their macros into energy. So imagine you're eating what you consider a clean, healthy diet, and there's a nice balance of carbs, fats, and proteins. And you're like, this seems like a really healthy diet. But if you maybe don't have certain nutrients that your body needs to help burn those certain substances, you may not be a good fat burner because you actually don't have enough B2, magnesium, or L-carnitine, which are the three main things that your body needs to help convert those. Or maybe you're really insulin resistant. And so when you eat carbohydrates, you're not efficiently burning those. So when we talk about kickstarting your metabolism, I don't want people to think about it just like it's like my metabolism's going slow, now it's going fast. It's that your metabolism becomes more efficient in that what you eat, your body can do a better job of burning. And then what happens in most weight loss programs is you restrict. And if you restrict over a long enough period of time, so let's take somebody who is doing a calorie restriction diet. I won't put any names on it. But if you're, a watcher and you've been calorie restricted, and let's say you're trying to lose weight, and they tell you need to do 1,200 calories a day, and you do that over the next 6 months to a year to try to get to the weight you want to go to. Well, here's the thing. The longer you restrict, and I mean long periods of time, when you restrict for really, really long periods of time without any change, your metabolism is eventually going to be like, or your body's going to be like, well, we have to figure out how can we live on this amount of calories. And you know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea if we could store some of it, right? So your metabolism will slow down to match what you're eating. That's actually what happens to a lot of people that get bariatric surgeries, right? Because basically bariatric surgery is just a mechanical way to create calorie restriction, because now they can only fit so much food in your mouth. So you end up you can only eat so many calories. And so people rapidly lose weight when they do this. But then after about a year or so, what starts to happen is the metabolism slows down to sort of match those calories. And then that little pouch gets just a little bit bigger and you can get a few more calories in. And then oftentimes the weight gain starts to slowly go up. It also, bariatric surgery interferes with how you absorb a whole bunch of your vitamins and minerals, which means they also have a broken metabolism in that they're not able to convert fats, carbs, and proteins into energy because they don't have the nutrients to do it very well. And so what happens is that metabolisms, the longer they're like that, they slow down over time. And then eventually that's why people gain weight back. In Hope 30, that's not what we do. Because a lot of people go, well, why is Hope 30 only 30 days? Well, it's because, one, It sounds a lot better than 180 days, doesn't it?
Hope 180.
Yeah, like the idea is that you could do anything for 30 days, right? So the idea is if we can get you to commit for 30 days, what's going to happen is you're going to see an exceptional amount of results in 30 days. Now, at the end of 30 days, guess what we do? We expand up again. We increase your calories and everything and kind of get your metabolism to like, okay, we restricted, then we come back up. And then if we want to restrict again, then we come back up. And then once we get where we want to go, we have a period of time where we expand way, way up to make sure that we get your metabolism significantly elevated up enough that it helps you kind of keep the weight off long term. So
that was a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. But the biggest thing is it will make your metabolism more efficient.
Get your motor running.
Yeah, you will become a better burner.
Yes.
That's
good.
Kind of important.
Okay.
And Nettie asked, I know losing the weight will ease my joint pain.
Yes.
So one of the big things, just like what we talked about the other night, is for every pound you lose is like 4 pounds mechanically off your joints. But what I have found to be I just had a phone call with someone today who just finished Hope 30, is in sort of the 10 days after you finish Hope 30, we add some things back in. Well, she added some things back in that aren't really recommended necessarily that we add back in right away.
She had some treats.
And she added them back in and she was like, it's really interesting is that the second I added those two things back in, I did it 2 days in a row. And both days I woke up and my joints really hurt.
Interesting.
And she goes, and then I took them back away and now my joints don't hurt again. And so you'll find out that not just the weight loss, but the food choices have an impact on your whole body inflammation. And if you can reduce whole body inflammation, I promise you, it will have a positive impact on your joints. Because that 5K a day in May that I ran that on a bone-on-bone ankle that I've had since I was 17. Like I had club feet from a very young, since I was born. I've had a bunch of surgeries. I have horrible ankle joints, bone, everything. But once I shifted to this style of eating and all this inflammation kind of dropped out of my body, my joint pain, my knees, my feet, and my ankles got so much significantly better that I can now run. When I was 17, they told me to stop running, that it wasn't going to be good for my joints. My joints have gotten better now as I've gotten older.
Well, I really think too that a lot of people feel like, they sit down and maybe they can't work out. Maybe it hurts too much, or maybe there has been a knee replacement or an injury or an ankle. We get that so many times when people are like really, they're depressed and they feel like, well, I just can't do anything about it because I can't exercise. So that it's something they want to do. They think that it's a part that's missing, and that, because that part is missing, then all hope is lost and they cannot do this. And it's really just over. And I guess this is just how it's going to be. And so we hear that over and over and over again. So I think it's such a relief to the people that are in that position to know that, what, let's kind of do like what Nettie we're talking about. Let's get the weight off. And let's get the pain out of the joints. Let's get the pressure off of the joints, even if it's a new knee and a new ankle or whatever. And then you can get back to moving, but it isn't like a number 100% requirement for weight loss and improved health, improving your metabolism, all the things that we've been talking about this week. I think that's a misconception that people kind of give up on themselves if their bodies are a little bit broken or tired, and they just think that, I can't exercise, so I guess that window is closed,
Right.
Yeah.
And we can, I can't tell you how many people have done Hope 30 to be able to get a knee replacement.
That's true.
Because, if you weigh over a certain BMI, a lot of times doctors won't do your knee replacement. And so we have a bunch of people who have actually done Hope 30 and maybe done, followed it for months to get down 40, 50 pounds. And then they were approved to get their knee replacement. And a lot of people use Hope 30 as the launching pad to then be able to exercise later. Because I will tell you this, when all your joints hurt and when you got a bunch of extra weight and nothing, like no movement feels good, right? So if that's the case, the likelihood that you're going to exercise or stick with it is low. So with Hope 30, what we give you the opportunity to do is to get, 14.9 pounds into the weight loss, reduce your inflammation, start feeling better, start having more energy. And then you can be like, I think I'm going to start going for after dinner walks around the block.
Amazing.
And then after you do the after dinner walks around the block, then maybe it becomes, I'm going to go twice. And then all of a sudden it's become your health and fitness revolution. But it all started with the decision to go for those first 30 days and get that initial weight loss, get that initial success. Because I think let's face it, we all only have so much willpower.
Right.
And for some of us, like exercising 4 times a week or whatever for 30 minutes or however long you're doing it a day, that takes a lot of willpower.
Yes.
And for some of you got to get up, you got to change, you got to go to a place, you got to do it, you got to come home. And then it's a couple hours out of your, it's many hours out of your life. And that expends a tremendous amount of willpower to be able to do that and consistently do it over a long period of time. Do you know and you're just pulling the little popsicle lever there, right? Yeah. So why not, if we're going to use the same amount of willpower, which I would actually say that just eating the way you are going to be on Hope 30 is significantly easier than going to work out 3 or 4 times a day.
Right.
What if it's much easier and the lever you're pulling is significantly bigger for your weight loss? And so that is why I definitely think, I love exercise, everyone.
He does.
I can't tell you. I'm not talking against exercise.
No.
I'm just telling you, if you're doing it as your primary way to try to lose weight, it's not the most efficient thing to do.
Right.
And that's why I would recommend Hope 30. If you are in the weight loss arena and you're like, I would like to lose some weight.
And changing the eating style is actually very easy and simple.
Oh, it's easy.
Real food from the grocery store, list of fruits, veggies, and proteins, many items on the list. And it's just eating like we were intended to, with good, clean food and not all that sugar that we talked about on Tuesday night that you guys loved, that example of all the teaspoons of sugar, right? So just eating really good food. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
So Kenda just wrote, yes, speaking from experience, this is all accurate.
Oh, yeah.
This program works.
Oh.
Just recommended you guys to someone today. Thank you, Kenda.
Kenda, thank you.
Well, Kenda was a superstar in Hope 30 and did amazing. And so thank you for those kind words. That's amazing.
Like an OG.
She is an OG. It's been a couple years now, so that's awesome. Nettie asks, is your program based on calories or food combinations? Have you seen success for postmenopausal women? I will tell you that almost everyone who's done Hope 30 is postmenopausal.
That's exactly right.
The majority of women who've done Hope 30 are 65. I mean, not them. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would say they're 65 and over.
Lots of 50 plussers.
Yeah, lots of 50 plussers, 65 plussers. That's very common. And then based on calories or food combinations. Well, again, and I think you asked this the other night, we don't really talk about calories a lot because it's meat, vegetable, fruit, lunch, and dinner. So if you just take, meat the size of the palm of your hand, unlimited vegetable, and a piece of fruit, lunch and dinner. Like, it's that simple.
That simple.
So it is based on food combinations because there are certain foods we're not doing, and it's not because the foods combine a certain way, but it's literally because those foods convert into sugar in your bloodstream. And once your blood sugar goes up, your body has to pump out insulin. What can't your body do in the presence of high levels of insulin?
Burn fat.
So you cannot burn fat.
If you're a hopester, you know what that was.
Yeah, you cannot burn fat in the presence of high levels of insulin. So if you, and here's an example, if you were to eat 1,000 calories of sugar every day, and you were to spread that out throughout the day, you are in a calorie deficit, but your metabolism will always be sugar burning.
Right.
So what's going to end up happening is when you need to burn more than those 1,000 calories, you're going to tap into your muscle mass to convert your muscle into sugar so you can burn that sugar. And then you said muscle weighs more than a fat. That this is true, but what's going to happen is that you are going to break down all your muscle and you're going to reduce your metabolism over time because you have less muscle mass. So so it's not just calorie based. It's a combination of calorie based and your hormonal response to foods like insulin and things like that.
Right. And which she says here, because we are so frustrated. And I get it 100%. I am in that club now. I'm proud to be there. There are a lot of perks, but there are a lot of things that aren't perks. And I will tell you that our hopesters immediately report very early that they have better sleeping. There's so many bonuses to eating this way and to kind of cleaning out the system for hormone balance, right? And your metabolism and everything working better. And so post menopausal women are a huge part of Hope 30, and they're doing really, really, really well. And so she said, all sounds good. Thank you.
Good.
So, all right. And thank you for asking these awesome questions.
Great questions, everybody.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, walking 3 miles a day has worn me out. I'm 73. Oh, okay, 73. Well, so let's see.
I want to tell you though, Nettie, my mother is 75. She's about to be 75. And my mother has lost.
Is it 50?
Yeah, my
40.
mother, we're up to 45 pounds since January. Okay. And out of the gate, she lost a ton, and it has changed her life. Okay. It really has. And we talk every single day, and we talk about fun foods, and she's still enjoying life, and she feels better. She can get up and down the stairs, whereas it was getting worse and worse and worse. And so Nettie says, so encouraging.
Yeah, my mom did it.
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't significantly overweight, but my mom's very sort of conscious of her weight. And she did, I'm trying to think what age she was probably when she did it, 76.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think she dropped like 13.
Yes.
In the 30 days.
Yes.
And and my mom might have sneaked a few extra glasses of wine in there. I'm just
she had some treats for sure.
But
I can tell you from experience that the majority of the women in your age group are amazingly successful. Amazingly successful. Yes. And so yes. And if you know anybody that was in Hope 30, I don't know if you do, but if you do, then everyone in your age group has done great.
Yes.
And I'm in my 50s, and it's working for me.
That's it.
So all the generations, all the decades.
All right, everybody. Again, reminder, if you want to join this next round of Hope 30, the deadline to sign up is tomorrow night at midnight. I hope everyone will rush right out. Please go ahead and ask, hey, if you're like, I want my spouse to do it with me. I want my friends to do it with me. I want my church group to do it with me. I want my cousin in another state to do it with me. And guess what? You'll get to see each other every single night for 30 nights. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Go over to Hope. It's scrolling across the bottom this whole time. Just go to hope30.com, spell out that word 30, and you can sign up tonight. Please go ahead and do that. The second you do that, you will get an email. And inside of there, it will give you a link to take an advanced metabolic questionnaire test.
It's even on your confirmation page. It's right there. You can't miss it.
So you're going to get the opportunity to take an advanced metabolic questionnaire test, which is going to tell you sort of where your metabolism is broken down and what your nutrients are to help kind of work on fixing that. And that'll really help.
Yes, Lynn. She said, I did Hope 30 in January. That's always a really fun group. The January group is always fun. I
Lynn,
hope you loved it.
Yes, I'm so glad. And I also like to see Lynn on
YouTube. That's the other thing I was going to say, you guys. Thank you for everybody on YouTube, but you can share those links. And you can, if you have a friend, you're like, I watched this, I learned this. And so you guys can go ahead and share these videos, and they're yours. They're yours to share. So
Lynn, it's doing it again is the same as it was the first time. If you're doing another regular round.
Oh, she said she loved it.
She loved it. Good. So if you go to hope, spell out the word 30.com, you can just sign up exactly the way you did the first time.
Yep.
And we can get started. And I would love to have you in this round. I love repeaters, because I will tell you, I just talked to somebody who did it like 3 years ago, and then said, well, then I really kind of got off track, and I started really treating way too much. And then after I did that long enough, eventually my body broke and I started gaining. And I was like, nope, I'm going to go back. And she came back and she goes, you know what? I don't know. Was I not listening the first time? Like, I feel like I learned so much stuff doing it the second time. No, it's still the same, but she just got more out of it the second time. So I love it when people come back and do it a second time. They're just kind of, I feel like the information starts to really become part of you. All right, everybody. So I hope, please go sign up. Thank you guys for getting on tonight.
Yes,
we really
thank
appreciate
you for all
every
your
one of you.
comments and your participation. We're so grateful, and we hope to see you in the early fall group of Hope 30.
Yes. So just like I tell my son every day before he goes to school, be your very best today. #never quit. And I believe that God wants the very, very best for you. And the day I believe that, change your life forever. Have an awesome, awesome night.
Okay, guys. Have a great Friday.